Right folks, welcome back to another episode of Iron All, that fantastic series idea that I've come up with to fill the gap during lockdown. What a great man I am, eh? John, of course. Right Jen, time for you to pick 10 random numbers so I know who I'm talking about today. Go.
2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 14, 19, 22, 26, 30.
And with that task taken care of, we can get through to the room and get right down to business. Right lads, we're here. Iron All, once again. It's been a good wee filler series for this whole lockdown period. Maybe it can continue once we're finished lockdown and the football eventually does come back. By the looks of things, that'll be a long time away, so there's plenty more Iron All episodes to come your way before then. So, let's get into another one. First player that Jenny randomly picked for me to talk about was number 2, Mcgregor. Now obviously, Rangers goalkeeper, very angry man in my opinion. One that you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of because I think he'd knock your lights out. Aside from all that though, he is a really good goalkeeper and up there fighting with Fraser Forster for the best goalie within the Scottish Premiership. Obviously, if you're a Rangers or Celtic fan, you'll have your own opinion on that. You'll be saying if you're a Celtic fan that Fraser Forster's better, and if you're a Rangers fan, you'll be on Mcgregor's side. Mcgregor is a good goalkeeper, very good in fact, and gets nothing more than an eye from me, simply due to the quality that he has, the amount of shots that he's able to save, and he has kept Rangers in a few games this season at least. It's just that kind of figurehead for a team like Rangers who sort of need that experience at times, so Mcgregor definitely gets an eye from me. Next up on the list was Hearts right back slash midfielder slash basically versatile player that plays anywhere he wants, Michael Smith. Now these are the type of players in football that I really like. I really like their kind of way about football. They just play because they want to play and they're playing in any position they possibly can to help the team do better. And Michael Smith is exactly that type of player. As I said, bit of a midfielder, bit of a fullback. He's played in central defence at times as well when needed, so I really think Michael Smith would literally play anywhere for the team that he plays for, and that is one of the reasons why it has got to be an eye for Michael Smith for me, because he just has that work ethic, attitude that really suits being a football player in my opinion. He just gets on with his job and does the job for the team extremely well. Consistent performer, gets an eye for me. Michael Smith, you're a good man. Bobby Linn is next up on the list, and there is absolutely no doubt what I'm going to say here. We'll just get it out of the road very quickly. It is definitely an eye for your man Bobby Linn. I'm a massive advocate of him. He's within Good Guys FC. He watches these videos. Hopefully he'll be watching this June because his face will have been in the thumbnail. So hopefully he can see this and get a bit of a smile on his face. In yesterday's video where I was ranking the best players from each individual championship team, Bobby Linn unfortunately didn't get chosen as the best player at Arbroath. It was indeed Tam O'Brien that I chose. However, I did say that Bobby Linn was the best bin man in the land, and that still stands, and he's definitely one of the best members of Good Guys FC. You can have those accolades, Bobby. I'm sure that'll go within your trophy cabinet, along with your League 2 winners medal and your League 1 winners medal, one that you'll tell the grandkids. Callum Morris is next on the list, and this is a player that played for Dunfermline, two individual spells. We kind of plucked him out of nowhere in English football. I think he played for Morpeth Town or something like that at the time when Jim Jeffries took a chance on him, brought him up to Dunfermline, and he was quite the player back then. And then he moved on in his career, eventually went to teams like Dundee United, moved on to Aberdeen, and then in the 2016-17 season, in the January of that season, we brought him back to the club, and he spent 18 months after that at the club during the 2016-17 season, the second half of that, and spent the entirety of the 2017-18 season at the club as well, where we came extremely close to pushing to the very end of the promotion playoffs and almost getting up into the Premiership, if not for losing against Dundee United. That will forever be etched in my memory. But Callum Morris is a player I would really like to take him back at Dunfermline if it were ever possible. I think apparently he's been offered a contract at Ross County, so it's up to him whether he stays there or not. He's confident on the ball, just composed, he's got that kind of aura about him. It's got to be an eye for Callum Morris. It's as simple as that. Now, I've had a lot of eyes in this episode, but as you can see at the side of me right now, we have the first player that's going to get a no, and it's Rafael de Vita. I'm just not convinced by this guy. He's had a decent enough spell in Scottish football now, he's been here for a number of years, and I'm just not convinced that he's that great overall. I know he's been around, and he doesn't have the greatest reputation amongst fans anyway. He's played for teams like Livingston, and he's spent a spell at Partick as well, so I've just not really rated him as highly as other wingers and forward players that I've seen. So Rafael de Vita unfortunately is the first no for this episode, just simply due to the fact that I just don't rate him highly enough to give him an eye. Now moving on to a player that was included in my top 5 championship players of the 2019-20 season, so therefore it simply has to be an eye for Callum Butcher. The midfield enforcer for Dundee United has been a revelation since they signed him, and I think it was January of last year. I remember doing the video where I mentioned him in my top 5 and I didn't really entirely know when he was signed, and I believe people corrected me and told me that it was January of 2019 that he signed. So he's been with them for a decent amount of time. He's obviously failed to get promotion last season after they failed to beat St Mirren in the promotion playoff final, but then secured promotion back into the Premiership this season. In my opinion, Callum Butcher was the exact type of player that Dundee United could have done with as soon as they came down into the Championship to get them straight back up. It's probably part of the reason why they didn't have a better go of it earlier on when they were in the Championship, because they just simply didn't have a player of the ilk of him that was able to come in and really crunch into tackles and just grab games by the scruff of the neck. You need players like that in a team, and I think Callum Butcher offers that in abundance, so therefore he gets an eye for me. Next up is Edinburgh City's Blair Henderson. I don't believe he scored as many goals last season, or the season just past if you want to say that, as he did in previous campaigns, but there is no doubt that he's been a good goal scorer for Edinburgh City, and from what I've heard, he's most likely to stay at Edinburgh City for pretty much the foreseeable future because of his job outside football and stuff, and Edinburgh City just kind of suits him as a football player and how he wants to live his life. So Edinburgh City have got a decent goal scorer there, and if he continues to score regularly for Edinburgh City, I can only see him moving on at some point. I think he's got that good goal scoring prowess that strikers need. He's not a player like Kevin Nisbet, who's absolutely fantastic on the ball, but he definitely knows where to be and how to finish chances, and as a striker you can't ask for a hell of a lot more than that. You can ask for a bit of ball skill, but at the end of the day, if they score goals, that's what they're mainly paid to do. So that's why Blair Henderson is an eye for me. Definitely one of the best strikers within the bottom 2 leagues of Scottish football. Next up is Michael Doyle. I'm going to go through this one quite quickly because I do like Michael Doyle, but I don't really have much to say about him in terms of what type of player he is, etc. I just like him for some reason. I've always liked Michael Doyle. Played for Morton, really liked him, and he's moved on to Falkirk, and despite him playing for Falkirk, I do still quite like him as a player, so he gets an eye for me. Don't know, as I said, I just like him. Next up, Ryan Porteous, one of the shining lights of the future for Scottish football, or at least we're all hoping so. Obviously, central defender for Hibs, and has come through the ranks there and done quite well. Just plays regular first team football on the majority of occasions. He needs to kind of calm down that sort of temperament of wanting to go in for heavy sliding challenges all the time, but apart from that, I would say he's got his game nailed down to a T, and he certainly knows how he wants to play. Obviously that includes that hard tackling nature, but if he can kind of just tone that down a wee bit, then I think Ryan Porteous has got a fantastic future within the game. And finally for this episode, wee Paul McMillan. I was a massive fan of this guy when he played for Dunfermline. When he moved out to Dundee United, I really wasn't chuffed because he's one of the players that I really genuinely did like as a player, and as I said at the start, wee Paul, I was just like, it was that kind of relationship that I had going on there. He's went on and won promotion with Dundee United eventually. I didn't really hold any grudges against the boy. He moved on, and that's kind of that. I enjoyed him when he was at Dunfermline, and I still rate him enough to give him an eye in this episode, so that's what he's getting, and I believe he deserves it. That's it for this episode, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below, aye or no for the players that I've mentioned, subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.